This is Jeremy from Blue Water Climate Control. I grew up in Tennessee, and when I was 9 years old, the World's Fair came to Knoxville. I was in awe of the Sun Sphere. I dreamed of living in Knoxville. To me, it was the center of the world. After 24 years in the Navy, I've been around the world and visited dozens of countries. My family has moved all over. Now here we are running Blue Water Climate Control right here in Knoxville, the dream I had when I was just 9 years old. Blue Water Climate Control, veteran service, superior value.
Welcome, everyone, to the Buck and 2MC show. Alexis Hornbuckle is still under the weather, so it will just be me tonight. But you don't have to listen to me this time. We got Nicky, Anosike in the house. Welcome, Nicky. Tell everybody hello.
Hi, everybody.
Nicky is a new mama, as everyone knows. She has two twins now, Lucy and Mez. And to say you've been through an ordeal, there are the babies. Look at those babies. To say you have been through an ordeal is an understatement, Nicky. Just for those just catching up, what is sort of a short version of how we got to this point?
Okay, a short version. I guess I should start when I was about 24 weeks. I went into the doctor's office for my monthly ultrasound, and I was sat down by two doctors that day, which was strange because I normally only saw one doctor. And they informed me that we needed to have a conversation about terminating one of my sons because he was not progressing the way I guess a baby should. And he was jeopardizing the other twin by being alive. And it's still like hard for me to talk about. But after that day, I decided to switch doctors, and it was hard for me to even get into another doctor's office because when my records were sent to certain doctors, they would say, we don't handle cases like this. But they took me at Fort Sanders, and I was able to get an appointment with them 2 weeks later. And when I got in there, they put me on medical bed rest, and I was on medical bed rest for 10 weeks. And that really saved my children's lives. I got there at 26 weeks, and at that point, they told me I wouldn't get past 28 weeks. But they assured me that babies born at 28 weeks have a really good chance of living. I ended up making it to 36 weeks and 1 day, and I delivered and stayed in the NICU with one child for about 4 weeks. Then he was discharged, and then we had to leave my other child in the NICU for an additional 3 weeks or so. At some point during that time, he was transferred to Vanderbilt. And when he was 2 weeks old, he also had a major operation, number of other procedures. But flash forward, tomorrow, they'll both be 2 months, and they are doing great.
I mean, obviously you reached out to me and we talked, and I've kept up with you, and I realize you're not on social media, but every time I posted an update or a photo of you or the babies, I mean, it just took off. I know you know how loyal and dedicated Lady Vol Nation is. Did even this overwhelm you with how much support you were getting?
It did. In the beginning, I was reluctant to tell anyone what was even going on with me. Almost nobody knew, but when I stopped showing up to things, I stopped showing up to work. I stopped showing up to coaching my basketball team. People didn't see me at my usual places. And so
Your volume went out. Whoop.
Okay.
Okay.
Am I here? Am I back?
I can hear you. I don't see you yet. Your volume went out briefly.
Uh-oh. All right, let me leave and come back in. Maybe that.
Okay. Don't you guys love technology? We tested this too. Nikki's gonna leave and come back in.
You want to do the ads real quick?
Yeah, let's while she's trying to come back in, let's obviously we already thank Blue Water Climate Control. Let's also do orangemountaindesigns.com. They have a new t-shirt that is available now, and it apparently says the softest, one of the softest we have ever made. If you know Terry's product, you know that is incredibly soft because all of her shirts are such top quality. So get this shirt. I also saw a version with long sleeve because at some point it's not going to be a gazillion degrees. So looks like Nicky is back. Nicky, we did a quick little promo while you were out.
Okay.
We were talking about the overwhelming support of Lady Vol Nation and how a lot of people, when you quit showing up to things, is when they realize something was going on, because it's not like you to reach out for help of any kind.
Right. And so people knew something was up, and it started getting back to me that there were rumors swirling. And I said, you know what? Enough is enough. Let me just put the story out the way that I want to present it. I just didn't want it to become something that was a source of gossip. I wanted to just lay it all out there. And so I thought, who better to call than Maria? And so I called you and let you know what was happening so that, you know, there would be no more rumors and people would know. But I was definitely not expecting this outpour of support. I'm naturally a very, not secretive, but private person. I don't like my business just floating around. But I am so thankful that I came out and shared what was happening, not just for the support, which was awesome, but also because so many people reached out and they were able to relate to some part of my story. And I could tell that there was a level of healing that came out of me sharing. A lot of people were encouraged. A lot of people were able to relate. I had people that reached out to me saying, my child was born at 27 weeks and we spent months in the NICU. I had people that reached out saying they told me that my child had Down syndrome and that I should, you know, terminate my pregnancy. But I went through with my pregnancy and my child is perfectly healthy, no Down syndrome. People reached out just with some level of being able to relate to me and relate to what was going on. And that was comforting. And I could tell that it was comforting for the people who were able to relate also.
Alex, if you can hear back in there, let's show the photo of the twin boys again, the way they looked about a week ago or so. There they are. I mean, is that just how precious can two little boys be? Obviously, Lucci has a little bit of catching up to do, Nicky, to Mez. Technically, do you know which one's older? Which one actually entered the world a split second faster?
Yeah, Lucci's older. He's the older brother.
Well, at least he can hold that over Mez's head, because he's going to have to catch up. But how are that? I realize anybody who understands these matters and medical issues and children like that are born so small and so early, I mean, there's going to be ups and downs. You're going to take a step forward and then you're going to take a step back, and then hopefully you take 2 steps forward. Just update us on how both of the boys are doing. And as you said, they're about to be 2 months old.
Yeah, I mean, I think my situation is a little unique. I'm a first-time mom, and I have twins. And, you know, one of my twins was, for the first 6 weeks of his life, in critical condition. And we had some, like, really traumatic experiences with him. Almost lost him a couple of times. So with all that going on, I am like super anxious all the time, and I've become like ER mom. And the slightest thing, I just run down to the ER because I'm just so afraid and nervous that something is going to happen to him. So there's that, but both boys are doing amazing. They really are. We took Lucci to the doctor last Friday. He had gained 1 pound in a week. So he was 6 pounds, 4 ounces, which I know to most people they're like, 6 pounds. That's not huge for a 7-week-old. But for him, it was a huge milestone. So he's growing, he's gaining weight. He was born at just under 3 pounds. And then his brother Mez is huge. Let me grab him.
Oh, the babies. And for those who are just joining, I have put the GoFundMe, are already here. I put the GoFundMe link in the comments, and I will post it again later on various social media. So much money has been raised, but the need is still there. So if you can afford to give, please do, or let somebody know, perhaps your church or a fundraiser in your neighborhood or something. The GoFundMe link is there. We're still trying to hit goal and raise some more funds. All right, Nicky, I'll quit talking. I told about the GoFundMe link is there. Which little baby is this, and how is he doing? Is he sound asleep?
He is sleeping. He's sleeping. This is Mez.
Hello, Mez.
This is Mez. Can you see him?
Yes, he is adorable. Look at that precious. He's like, Mama, I'm sleepy.
Yeah, he's sleepy. But he is a big baby. And he's doing really well. Loves to eat. So that's Mez, and Lucci's eating right now, but I will grab him in a few minutes when he's done eating.
So your husband is feeding him, right?
Yes, he is.
Yes, what a transition he had. Chima, is that how you say it?
Yeah, Chima.
He just got to the United States by a week after you gave birth, was almost made it, but cannot. And now he's a new father, and you're a newlywed couple. I saw that ring on your hand. It's quite beautiful. I could see it earlier. I mean, how is he doing? This is a lot for him too.
Yeah. Well, he got to America. Mind you, he's never traveled out of Nigeria up until coming here. But he got to America and was driven straight to the hospital from the airport, and never left the hospital until we got transferred to Vanderbilt. So our drive to Vanderbilt was his first time out of the hospital. So he literally stayed in the hospital for like 5 weeks straight, didn't leave, and then got to Vanderbilt. And I could not stay with Lucci because they don't allow anyone under 18 to stay. So I had to go to a hotel every night with this one. And then Chima had to stay with Lucci in the room that they gave Lucci at Vanderbilt. So he went from one hospital to the next. And then when we got discharged, he was able to finally be done with hospitals and come home. So, it was emotional for him. I know it was hard for him, trying to support both of our sons and then also his wife. But I would say that our experience and the way we started our marriage was a huge gift. The fact that we went through such a difficult time was a gift. I don't think that there's anything we can't get through, being that we started our marriage off during such a difficult period. And it wasn't easy. There were times I was an emotional wreck, and just like could not pull myself together. And he was strong for our family. He was strong for me. And he really, really did a great job of handling the situation.
Denise Tague, I can read comments and I'll read some of them to you. I'll start with a question she just asked. How did Nicky and her husband meet?
Good question. My mom actually introduced us. So my mom and his brother are friends, and his brother came down to Boston a couple of years ago. And while talking, they realized that I was the same age as his younger brother. And so he kept saying, hook them up. And my mom's like, no, you don't understand my daughter. Like, I've been trying to hook her up and she hates everybody. And my mom actually went to Nigeria that same year, and she kind of like a secret interview. Like he ended up spending a lot of time around them, and so she was kind of interviewing him over the course of that month that she was there. And she came home and she was like, "Nicky, I met the perfect guy." And I was just like, "Who is he?" You know, I was already skeptical. And he sent me a couple of his pictures. I was like, okay, not bad. And then I was like, all right, just give him my number. And so she did. And he called me that next morning and we spoke. And I was like, oh, he seems really cool. And so we continued to speak. And so that same night, he ended up proposing to me. So he proposed like the first time we ever talked. So that's how we met.
What a great story. Some of the early comments that came in, a lot of these are our regular viewers. Renee Suter, hello, everyone. Beth Edwards, hi, all. Donna Hairston, hello, all. Sherry Parker says hello. Renee also said, Big Nick, you look great.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Jessica Gwynn said, hello, Maria and Nikki. Thank you for taking the time to join Nikki. Donna said, they are so adorable. We love you, Nikki.
Thank you.
That's Donna Hairston. Nancy Henningson Harshman said, howdy. And Moore, look great, Nikki. That would be you. Look great.
Thank you.
Deb Bradley, hi, ladies. Thank you for being here. Laura Ward, hashtag Big Nick.
Hey, Laura, I got the Target gift card. Thank you.
Gift cards are always good. Diapers. Jessica Gwynn said, you are one strong woman, Nikki. I love how you advocated for your sweet boys. I am so glad you found a great doctor to advocate for you and your children as well.
Thank you.
Donna said, totally.
Every mother would do the same.
A mother should never be asked to make that decision. My God. When you told me that, I mean, I'm a grizzled old veteran journalist. I don't get emotional. I'm like, my God.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've learned since this experience, it's not uncommon. It's not uncommon. A lot of women have came out and said that they were faced with a decision after a doctor had learned that there could be a potential complication with the child they were carrying, or a doctor has mentioned to them that the child might not have a great life, you know, if born. So a lot of women have been faced with this decision. I didn't know that this type of thing took place until it slapped me in the face. And I was just kind of taken back. But I'm so happy now that I made the decision that I made. But I also have a level of challenging authority that gave me, I think, a leg up in this type of situation. But I think people who are used to kind of deferring to authority, especially doctors who are the experts, might have made a different decision. And that part saddens me, you know, that there are women who have made the decision to terminate, because these children really do want to live. You know, I saw that firsthand with my son. He wanted to live so bad. And so it was up to me as mom to make sure that I did whatever I could to make sure he did live.
And if you don't, the what if will haunt you for the rest of your life.
Right.
I mean, if it could also still happen. I mean, all pregnancies come with a degree of complication, risk, you know that.
Right.
And you are obviously at even higher risk, but if something had happened, at least you would tell yourself, I tried everything that I could.
Right. And I didn't feel like one son deserved to live more than the other. And so I'm happy that I made the decision that I made. I really am. I mean, on the surface, I know it seemed like maybe there's a level of selfishness there, only because the doctor told me that he was inside of me suffering, and I still chose to continue. So some people could say, if you know your child is suffering, why continue? But I had this overwhelming feeling that he wanted to live.
And you were right. Some more comments. So glad you and the babies are doing so well, Nikki. That's Jess Hall. Credence Wood. He's another one. He's one of our longtime people. He says, hi, Maria and Nikki. Donna Hairston said, precious. Beth Edwards, the boys are too precious. Jess Hall, those dudes are so adorbs. Jessica Gwynn, they are beautiful. Thank you for sharing your story. I'm sure you have impacted people in a positive manner with your story too. Amen to that. I said, that's my little ad, the amen to that. Credence said, wow, he's tall.
Yes.
Yeah, that's Mez, right? Yes.
Mez, yeah.
I was thinking he could be a heck of a swimmer with the wingspan and the long legs he's going to have if you don't get him on the basketball court first.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're already we're doing tummy time every day. So we're already working on getting our shoulders strong and our neck strong. So, I mean, these are going to be ball players.
Definitely. Laura Ward said, sweet babies, proud mama. Ricky Williams, love and miss you, Nikki.
Oh, hey, Ricky.
Marianne Daughtery, hello, Nikki and Maria. I'm so happy the babies are doing well, Nikki. I loved watching you play. You were a true leader, and I thank you for bringing home championships via your leadership with those teams. Shatina Johnson, so cute. Laura Ward, Rocky Top is a lullaby. So much to take on so quickly, and you are all just rocking it. I am in awe of you all. That's Jess Hall talking about you and your husband.
Thank you.
Jess Hall said, wow, that's a whirlwind romance taken to the next level. And Jessica said, I think you have some people who love you, Nikki. Joan Guggenheim, another one of our longtime people here. Nikki, you are one of my all-time favorite. Love the baby. Jess, he is just snoozing away. I love it. Nikki, Donna Graves Myers, Nikki, you're a special person. Joan said you did the right thing. Shatina said, Nikki, such a strong woman. Credence has already got him as future Tennessee basketball players. Jess is picturing them in orange already. And Renee said, Nikki, will you be returning to your school and team this year, or is that undetermined? And for those that don't know, Nikki is the head coach of Anderson County Lady Mavericks basketball program at Anderson County High School in nearby Clinton, Tennessee.
Yes, I will be returning.
Perfect. Everybody, hopefully we get this pandemic under control and people can wear some orange and come out to the gym there at Anderson County High School and see your team in that shining, amazing new locker room that you put together with a sledgehammer. And community support. I want to ask you a question that I always try to ask new mothers. I mean, you loved Pat Summitt. You love your family. You love your husband. Is holding your baby, is that just a love that there's really, it's indescribable? Is that just a new sensation that you've never felt?
Yeah, it is. It's still a little strange. Sometimes I hold them and I'm like, these are my children. You know, I still can't really wrap my head around how much I love them. But I know that I love them so much because I'm just willing to do any and everything that they need me to do without even questioning it. You know, so many people when I was in the NICU told me, you know, why are you living here? You can go home and visit. And I'm like, absolutely not. I'm not leaving my child in the NICU. You know, I was willing to lose everything to be there with them. And so to me, love is so much more than words. It's what are you willing to do? You know, what are you willing to do? What are your actions saying? And I was willing to lose everything, you know, to stay with them in the NICU and to make sure that they knew that they were loved and that mama was close by.
Just looking at the comments, some people are already planning a road trip to come to Anderson County. So
come on down. We
definitely going to have some orange. We need to do some quick advertisements real fast. Alex, I'll let you do those. Obviously, Orange Mountain Designs is our primary sponsor. We should show that video of Jordan Horston and Tamari Key with the name, image, and likeness stuff they're doing. If you got that queued up, Alex. If not, we can come back.
What's up, y'all? It's Jordan Worston here.
And it's Marky, and we're excited to announce our NIL deal with Terry Holder at Orange Mountain Design.
Like you all have seen, we dropped a few shirts. We just want to thank y'all for supporting us. We really appreciate y'all. There's still a lot of shirts still out there. We signed all of them because we love y'all to death, so go get your shirts.
Go get your shirts at Orange Mountain Design.
Thank you.
All right. The other sponsors, of course, are, and you know me, Alex, I usually have Alexis do that. Yeah, I need visual cues. Alexis Hornbuckle basketball. We're hoping Alexis feels better soon. She is very much under the weather and is taking a nap right now, or she may be listening on her phone. The others, Billy Ratliff's Tap 40 Grill. That is a new bar, sports bar experience, as you can imagine. It is especially for Tennessee fans. The Gold Standard, that's Jamel Johnson, former Lady Vol soccer player, fitness and sports performance training, and Just Pass It, learning made simple. They're also available online. They are located in Florida. And if you need any help academically, which Nicky never needed, but we're not all like Nicky. We can't get 5 degrees in college and all that, or however many you got out of there with. So you go to Just Pass It. Nicky, the name, image, and likeness. Can you imagine if you had that when you were in college, how nice that would have been?
Yeah, it would have been nice for sure. But I don't regret anything about my college experience. We didn't have social media, like, thank God. We didn't have a lot of the bells and whistles. It was just ball, and I'm a ball player. I just wanted to play ball. So yeah, I don't regret anything about my experience.
Credence wants to know if you'll be able to make any Lady Vol games this year. I realize that's kind of hard with night games and being a mama, but what do you think? Can you get over there?
I planned on going last season, but I even tried to go to a lot of EJ's games, but it just got increasingly difficult. Some of the games are super late, and then I was pregnant, so I didn't make it to any of the Lady Vol games, and I did a few of the Vol games because my brother was on the team. And this upcoming season, lugging around twins probably won't be that easy, but I will definitely try to make it to a few games. I love going to Lady Vol games, so yeah, I would love to go.
And if it's safe and we're somehow out of this pandemic, there will be plenty of Lady Vol fans wanting to hold your babies for you while you are there. I do not doubt that at all. Jessica wants to know, are you getting you and your family settled in the house? We heard Kelly Kane helped you with that too.
Yes, so many people helped me. I bought a house, but it was just like a cookie cutter.
Uh-oh, we lost your audio. Nope, you got to come back. We lost the audio again. I'll use this opportunity to put the GoFundMe back in there. The bills are incredible, as you can imagine, and the cost of setting up for a baby. And Nicky is back. We put the GoFundMe link. Every time you go out, we just put the GoFundMe link back in there.
I'm purposely doing it. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I bought a cookie cutter house, just something. And Kelly Kane came down and helped. Jessica Brewster helped. They made my baby's nursery beautiful. Let me see if I can show you guys the nursery that they put together. Let me put him down. Hold on.
Yeah, a lot of people stepped up.
Yes, so many people. My Anderson County crew came through big, and yes, this is can I flip this?
I think so. Just flip I have no idea. You're asking somebody that.
I don't know if I can flip.
Maybe you're gonna have to turn and just sort of turn and hold the phone up and show us, or
okay.
All hold it above your head.
Well, this is the nursery that was put together by my
Wow.
friends. So these boys, they have it good. So thank you, everyone. I mean, I don't want to list out everyone who was responsible for that nursery, but Alicia Ballard was the primary person who made that nursery possible, because if it was up to me, there's no way I would have had that type of a nursery. But so many people stepped up and really, really showed love to me, my husband, and our boys.
And I'll point out, Nicky had made moves to find a house while she was pregnant, because she was living in a very small apartment that was not in a suitable location to raise children. And obviously she had no idea she was about to be out of work and spend the next 4 months in a hospital. That is why I've continued to push the GoFundMe. The financial need remains high. Anyone who's ever had a child knows the cost. Now you have 2, and they've been hospitalized basically to start their entire little lives. The stress, you have enough stress on you, and Lady Vol fans have really stepped up to help. And if you possibly can help any more, that would be fantastic. Jess said that nursery is fabulous. The chandelier is gorgeous. I mean, Nicky, all of this happened while you were in the hospital. I mean, like I said before, you were loved, but do you now know how loved you are?
I do. I do. It makes me a little, I don't know. Sometimes I don't feel like I deserve it all, but yeah, I'm just so loved. And, I played not recently, so I'm still like shocked that so many people remember me and still love me, but it's humbling. And it's even more humbling that not only do they love me, but it even extends to my husband and it extends to our children. And so my children are just like, the amount of people that were praying for them. I mean, I don't know where we would be without those prayers. I mean, the financial support was amazing and I'm thankful, but the prayers is what got us through. And so we're just so, so thankful. I'm so thankful that I played for the Lady Vols, and it's like my children are even reaping the benefits of that love. So yeah, it's humbling.
Margot Anderson said you definitely do deserve it. Joan said, "Oh, Nicky, you so deserve it." Jessica, it's more than basketball, it's family. Beth Edwards, you deserve it all. Nancy, can't ever forget Big Nick. I mean, that Lady Vol for life, they're not kidding. And when you really see it come through is when you're most in need. Is that just something that, as you look back at all your life decisions and how you got here, is coming to Tennessee one of the ones where you just look back and go, thank goodness I made that decision? Definitely. Even if your mama made it for you, more or less, I think.
I mean, I think in the beginning, I think about this story all the time. Like, I remember asking my high school coach, like, he was telling me, oh, Duke called, UConn called. He was just listing off all these, like, amazing, amazing programs. And, like, I just wasn't excited. I was like, but what about Tennessee? I didn't care about Duke and UConn and all these schools. I just wanted to know, like, what about Tennessee? And he was like, Nicky, you haven't gotten a letter from Tennessee. I haven't received a phone call from Tennessee. That's not really a school you get to choose. They have to choose you. And I was just like, man, like I was so I was so depressed after he made that comment to me, because I'm like, well, there's no way they're going to pick me. I was well aware of what the Tennessee Lady Vols were. And I knew that in my mind, I didn't feel that I fit what they were looking for. I didn't come from a 2-parent household. I did not grow up in the suburbs. I didn't live in a nice place. I didn't feel that I fit in with the players that were here. And so when I looked over to my right during warmups at a high school game and I saw Pat Summitt, I was like, wait, what? Is she here for me? And so I knew that I was coming to Tennessee when I finally did get that letter. And I was like, they chose me, and flash forward. I mean, that was in 2004. So flash forward to 2021. I'm still reaping the benefits of that decision. And it was a great decision. And I'm happy that Tennessee chose me.
Yeah, Pat at that time was able to take her time. As Mickey DeMoss, when she came back, said, you don't recruit at Tennessee, you choose.
Exactly. It's true.
Yeah. But of course, the recruiting is completely different now. There's more programs that are in that upper echelon, and there's a lot of competition. But I think in hindsight, coming to Tennessee, was beneficial for Tennessee, to say the least. I will always say you should have been the most valuable player of the 2007 Final Four. I will die on that hill. I will die on that hill. Candace Parker deserved it in 2008. No argument there. She played with an arm hanging off. Big Nick should have been the most valuable player of the 2007 Women's Final Four in Cleveland, in my opinion.
I mean, I was just like one of those players. I didn't get all the accolades and all that. And I'm just completely fine with that. I really am. I was just excited to be out there with my sisters, playing, balling, and just having fun. We worked hard and we had fun. I mean, I don't think any of us really cared about those accolades and the awards and any of that. And that's what made it so amazing. And that's really why I can have a teammate that finds out I'm in the hospital and comes and stays 2 weeks with me in a small room. It's because we didn't care about any of that. It was about our bond.
I've slept in hospital rooms overnight when I had to, and I'm trying to picture 6'6" Kelly Kane trying to get comfortable on anything in a hospital room, and I just can't see it.
Yeah. I mean, they have one of those chairs that you can fold into a bed or unfold into a bed, and she slept on that. And I did feel bad, but she said she wanted to stay, and I appreciated the company.
And I will point out again, you are an incredibly private person, and you sent me the most understated text message that day. Hey, this is Nicky. I just want to talk to you about something when you get a chance. So I called while I was on a break. I was working from home. And you started your story. I said, okay, I'm going to need to call you tonight. This is a bigger story. I'm like, I thought you were just something, I'm having a camp. I'm in the hospital and I've been here for over a month and I've almost lost one of my baby. I'm like, okay, time out.
Yeah. I mean, it was a story that I didn't want to share only because it was hard for me to talk about. It's still really hard for me to talk about. But like I said, people started to realize something was wrong when I stopped showing up. And so different rumors were getting back. And I was like, wait, I don't want all this spreading around. I have got to stop it and just put out a statement. And so that's why I called you, is because I thought you always do stories in a very classy way. And I didn't want what I had going on to come out in a gossipy way or in any way other than the way it should have come out, which is why I called you, because I knew you would know how to put the story out. And I'm just
go ahead. You finish.
No, I just wanted to thank you, because the way that you put the story out was exactly how it happened, which is what I wanted. I wanted everything to be put out in a very accurate way, because my children are going to look back one day and read these articles. I know they are. And I want it to be something that they're proud of.
I did it after work and then set up the GoFundMe so it could time with it. And I'm never going to miss an opportunity to link it. Please, people, help if you can. And obviously it was late at night by the time I talked to you, got it done, went to bed, and my phone started literally bouncing on the nightstand because people were responding, and I was getting yes, and I'm like, I don't recall a story I've done in a long time that the reaction was like that. I mean, they get some traction, but not like this. And I finally had to just put the notifications on silent. I'm like, I got to get a little bit of sleep. So I appreciate you trusting me with that. And That makes me, that's very humbling, and I thank you for it. My favorite part, one of the favorite parts is about, it's sad, but it's funny. You were obviously, when you drove around randomly after getting the news that you had to pick a child to terminate, you somehow ended up at Westtown Mall, and you're meandering around Knoxville, and you sobbed. I mean, you did what, as soon as you could park the car and stop, you did what anybody would do. You lost emotional control and you're sobbing. But then you look up and pull yourself together, and you see the cheesecake factory, and you say, boys, we're going to get some cheesecake. I cannot see a cheesecake article or a logo without laughing now, because I'm like, that's Nicky. That's Nicky's cheesecake.
I don't even eat cheesecake. I don't know what I was doing that day, but I was just like, I needed to cheer myself up. But, you know, that day was just, I was on an emotional roller coaster. I was so angry when I was in the doctor's office, because to me, I just didn't understand why that was our first option. I felt like there should be some intervention. You know, you're just telling me to terminate, but you're not saying, okay, we can put you on like some type of medication, or maybe we can change your diet to help, you know, baby A grow. There were no interventions that they were giving me. They were just like, we need to talk about which one we're going to terminate in order to save the other. And I'm like, there has to be something else we can do. This can't be our only option. And so I got angry, and I just grabbed my things and left. So I went from shutting down to getting angry, and then I just drove around. And finally, when I stopped, I just broke down and cried, because I was like, I was already so attached to my children, you know, like I had already carried them for 24 weeks. And I was so attached to them already. And I had pictured my life with twins, and I didn't want to just have one of them. You know, that wasn't good enough. I wanted both of my babies. And so, yeah, I cried, and then I pulled myself together, because like I said, I had this overwhelming feeling that my baby wanted to live. And terminating him was not an option, because he wanted to live. I knew it. I knew he did. And so I said, let's go in and get us some cheesecake. And I don't eat cheesecake. I probably haven't had cheesecake since college, but we got some red velvet that day, and we enjoyed it.
Good for you. Alex, if you can hear us in the background, let's put the photo up of the twins again, because I know some people have come in a little bit later. I just have to stop and look. My goodness. Obviously, that's Mez on the left on your screen, and Lucci on the right. Bobby is just rubbing it in here. Says, how are the babies? Bobby of Volunteer Roadshow. They make your heart melt. I got to hold them. I heard Bobby. I cannot believe you have held the babies already. But anyway, he wants to know how the babies are doing right now.
They're good. I'll grab Lucci. He just ate. I'll grab him.
Okay. Jess Hall said, love it. Cheesecake Factory is one of my favorite. I've been thinking, I love cheesecake. I have not had it in forever. There's the little baby. Oh, he's looking great. Look at him. Is he asleep? Oh, he's awake. Mm-hmm. Sort of.
Wait, let's see. Say hi.
Hi, buddy. Hi, little Lucci. Look at him.
Oh, he's waving.
He's waving. It's like, those are those orange people I've heard about.
Say hi.
Oh, he looks fantastic. Look at that baby.
Yeah, he's doing well. Do we look alike?
Yes, you do. You have this, I mean, look at, yeah, he's also looking like, you know, don't mess with me, people. That's how he takes after you.
Yeah, everyone says he looks like my husband, but
no, it's always looks like Mama. Beth Edwards wants to know, how did you explain Lady Vol Nation to your husband? That's a good question.
I don't know if he really completely understands it, but I do know he has a pretty good understanding, because EJ, my younger brother, played for the Vols last season. So he got a taste of what it was like on the men's side. And so I was able to explain to him what it was like on the women's side. So he does really understand how we won championships and how we were kind of like the team that everyone modeled themselves after. And so he understands what the standard was at that time.
I'd still want to thank OrangeMountainDesigns.com again. Terry did a special, of course, that percentage of sales went to you, and I believe she got that check to you. Terry Holder did. There's the t-shirt. It's the one she said, one of the softest we've ever made. I personally can't wait to wear it if it's one of the softest ones. This just has your basic Lady Vol wording on it, which a lot of people like too. And obviously our other ones, Blue Water Climate Control, Alexis Hornbuckle Basketball, Performance Training, High Performance Training with Jamel Johnson, and Just Pass It Tutoring Services. So those are our primary sponsors. Look at him. Nicky, Laura Ward said he looks like you. Joan has already ordered the shirt. And Margot says, we will get back, Nicky, meaning championship. So. And I've got to start thinking about wrapping it up because I know they have another show at like 8 o'clock and they have time to set that up. Nicky, I do want to ask you, I mean, you went through so much. I remember getting the text message from you that you were about to leave Vanderbilt and were finally going to drive to Knoxville. When you actually pulled in your own driveway and walked both those babies into the house with your husband, take me through that moment. How special was that?
I mean, I've just been so emotional. Like that day, especially, I was emotional because there were so many times where I didn't know if that day would ever happen. I didn't know if I'd be able to bring both of them home. Like I said, we almost lost this one a couple of times. There was one night in particular where he stopped breathing. But they were able to pump him back to life, and he's here with us.
You just did a little yawn too.
And so the experiences of almost losing a child and not knowing if I would get to bring him home just made me so emotional. And I still get emotional even now. Just looking at him and seeing him home, and seeing both of my sons home, we didn't know if this day would ever come. And so we're just cherishing every moment and just completely thankful and grateful to God for allowing us to have both of these sons home, because so many days it just looked like it wouldn't happen.
Yeah, people ask me a lot for updates, and I would try to keep connected with you via text, but also respect the fact that you were going through so much and were very busy. And when you had told me, we didn't post anything, and while he was struggling, and I was just like, oh my goodness, I would post an update that the babies need all the love and prayers, and if you can help, and it just. My heart broke for you. There were times I was so overjoyed for you, and times and I'm speaking for a lot of people, just heartbreaking for what you had to go through. But to see you holding your babies, I mean, wow.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. I mean, it really is a miracle. Anytime you send your 2-week-old into a major operation, and you're signing a waiver saying that he might not come out. It is just, it's tough. It's tough, and I think what we experienced just gave us a completely different outlook on parenthood. Do we get any sleep? Not really, but who cares? We have both of our boys home. So we just have a different perspective now. And we cherish every single moment because we know, how blessed we are to have both of our sons home and alive and healthy. Because there were times that things just looked so bad that we didn't know. But one thing that I believe is that you can't always believe what your eyes see. Because I know that God is working behind the scenes, and it's you really do have to walk by faith, not by sight. Because if we just went by what we could see, we would have lost hope a long time ago. But I give credit to my husband because his faith was so strong and it never wavered. Never for a single second did his faith in God waver. And he kept us strong, you know, throughout this whole ordeal. Whereas, like, I broke down several times. I'm not going to lie. I broke down several times, but he stayed strong the whole time. And so it was just, I'm just happy that he was there with us. You know, I'm happy he was there with us.
Renee wants to know if your mother has been able to visit yet to see the babies.
No, she hasn't.
Goodness. It's waking up now. Goodness. Credence says he looks just like you. A lot of people are saying praise be to God and what a wonderful story. May the Lord continue to bless you all. You were sending me frequent photos, and I just want to reiterate, Nicky is so private and does not realize the social media path she has now from my various posts. But when you sent that photo of Chima arriving to the hospital, your smile was like national championship level smile. Just how relieved were you to see him? And somebody said, get Dad in the picture if he will pop in and say hello.
Okay. Chima, come on. He's feeding Mez.
Okay. And it's okay to cry, Nicky. You've made everybody cry here in the last 2 months.
Let's see. Can you sit next to me? Wait. Maybe come. Okay. Can you got
There we go. Hello. Welcome to the Volunteer Roadshow, and welcome to Knoxville.
Hello.
They said welcome.
Look at the babies.
They
Your husband is adorable. My goodness, he's adorable.
These matching outfits, Jessica Brewster got them. I'll shout her out. She was amazing. Women's athletic chaplain at UT. She really, really helped us through this process too. But Chima,
yes,
I'll let him. Any questions for Chima?
I'll ask Chima how relieved were you to finally get here and be able to be with Nicky and see your babies?
She said, how relieved were you that you finally came to America and you were able to be with me and the babies?
I'm so happy that I'm with my wife, because all this while she's passing through while I'm in Nigeria, my mind, I haven't have a less of mind. So it's not something I will keep on encouraging her on phone. Although I'm not happy that I meet up when she give birth, because my target is to be there, you know. So, but I'm happy I'm here. Because the twins are not funny anyway. They are not funny. So, but I'm happy I'm here to assist her.
So he's speaking English, but he was saying that his intention was to be here for the delivery, but he missed the delivery, and he had some level of guilt because, you know, I was going through a difficult time, and he wasn't there. So now that he's here, he's able to help and support the family. So yeah, and we're happy to have him. We're happy to have him.
I actually understood him just fine. I want to know too, Chima, why did you propose to Nicky so quickly? Like one day?
Good question.
Well, the first day I met her. So the first day I met her was on phone. That was the first day I spoke with her. So after having some conversation with her.
So you want to give me him?
Please. Yeah. This one. I carry this.
Switch here.
Yeah, the first time I spoke with her, after having spoke with her throughout the day, because I talked with her, I spoke with her from hours. So I realized that she is the type of woman I want to get married to. So I don't need to waste time because I've already seen that she's a hustler like me because I hustle in Nigeria. So I said I don't need to waste time than to propose to her. Although she don't give me response because she told me she have to think about it. You know. But when I look at her, I know that this is exactly what my doctor recommended for me. Because she have everything I need from a woman. It's not that I'm not seeing women in Nigeria, but her own is quite different. You know?
But Nicky, no wonder you love him. He's just like you. Like, this is what I want, and I'm going to do it. We're not going to have a long discussion here.
Yeah, no, I was the one that was like, wait, pump your brakes. I need a year or two. And I really told him, like, just give me a year or two. But then he was like, okay, I'll give you some time. And then the next day he proposed again. So
you said yes then?
Yeah, the second time I was like, yes. But the first time I said, I didn't say no. The first time I just said, give me a year or two.
Most people know Pat Summitt love babies. Absolutely love babies. I know you know that. I mean, how much do you wish she could hold your little babies? And how much have you thought about her during this whole process of needing strength?
I actually have a picture of her in my bathroom, which is, I guess now that I'm saying it out loud, is a strange place to have a picture of her. Let me grab it. I want to show.
Okay. Yeah, the other show apparently doesn't go yet, so we can go longer with Nicky. We won't keep her too long. I know the babies are getting restless, but we're staying a little bit over if y'all want to hang out with us. And please reshare this on your social media, for especially the link to help. Okay, we're gonna have a little dog cat fight here. What are you guys doing besides misbehaving? Oh, stop it. Come on. Go on. You're misbehaving. The cat does not want to play with you. Sorry, my dogs are misbehaving. Okay, what's the photo look like? Oh, that's in the locker room in Indianapolis.
Yeah, this
in
is
2005.
Exactly. Yep, my freshman year. But yeah, I mean, it's a playful picture. I like remembering Pat that way. Because a lot of people might not know, Pat had a really interesting sense of humor. Like, she was always cracking jokes. She was always cracking jokes. She was always laughing, always having a good time. I know on the court she was serious, but off the court, she was always like cracking jokes and having a good time. And so I like to see her that way, laughing, joking, making all of us just enjoy the moment. So I know that she would have been there supporting me the whole way throughout this journey. And I know that she would have been first in line to cuddle them. And I know that she would be proud of me.
Oh, Pat loved you. My goodness, she loved you. I mean, we could tell even with the media, and Pat didn't pass out compliments very often to the media. She loved you while you were playing. Pat loves everybody after, but she even loved you while you were there. So.
Yeah, we were similar in a lot of ways.
You were. My favorite story about you that Pat told was you guys were having to run sprint after sprint after sprint after sprint, and people are bent over complaining, I'm tired, and you just quietly told everyone, my mom is tired, we're not tired, because she was working 3 jobs and going to school to raise her family. So you were a dose of perspective that a lot of people needed, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, I think one thing Pat always did was she tried to break us. And so I never wanted to show any sign of weakness. I never wanted to bend over or, show that I was extremely tired. It was always my goal every time I stepped on the court, not to show any weakness, not to show her that she had broken me. And so I tried to infuse that in my teammates. And so, we all just kind of, even though we might have been dying inside, I always tried to encourage my teammates not to show any weakness, and it worked. It worked when we stepped on the court because we were just intimidating. We were really a force.
I know you need to get back to those babies and get a little bit of rest. I'm going to ask you to step outside your comfort zone just a tad. I have made the pleas for people to donate, but it's powerful coming from you. Just what can you say to people about why you still need some help? And I know it's a humbling request too. I totally get that. But what do you want to say to people in terms of continuing to help if they could?
I would say that the help that I've already gotten is mind-boggling. It really is. I mean, the amount of love people have shown, not just me, but my children, is amazing. And I can't wait till they're old enough to understand, because I'm really going to explain to them just how blessed they are, and that not everyone gets the amount of support and prayers and financial assistance that they've gotten. I was on the verge of losing everything. I still have not worked since March. Hospital bills, and I have pretty good insurance through the school system, but I think the medical bed rest for the 10 weeks was just, just put me in a place where I could have been financially ruined without all of the donations. And then the NICU stays, as soon as we got home, there were just like envelope upon envelope of bills. I mean, there was one for like $3,000 just for Lucci's anesthesia for one of his surgeries. Super thankful for everything that everyone has already done. And I know that a lot of people sacrifice to give, and I don't ever take that for granted. I really don't. I'm super thankful. And so I don't want to ask for anything more, but, anything helps. There were people who gave so much, $1,000. I think I saw someone gave, and then there were people who gave 20 or 10, you'd be surprised. All of it helps. All of it does. And I just, I want to take a second to just pray that whatever you give or whatever you've already given, let God return it back to you tenfold, because you have really, really, each and every person who's given, even if you gave a prayer, thank you. You have really saved my family from financial ruin.
That's about as direct as you could make it, and it's definitely true. And like I said, don't you ever question, and other people have said this too, that you deserve this. You deserve every bit of it. You have lived your life doing things the right way. And I'm not saying you haven't made mistakes. My goodness, we could all go through the decades of our life and find multiple mistakes that we made, but you have tried to do the right thing and be a good person. And I am so glad that you ended up here. Somehow you came back home, so to speak, not to New Jersey, New York, but here.
No, this is my home. This is my home. It really is. I feel I'm a part of something. I'm a part of something huge. I'm a part of something special. And there's not a day that goes by that I don't know that.
Well, everybody's sending love and strength. Mikey Rickman, he's checking in from Hawaii, sending so much love and strength to you and your beautiful family.
Thank you.
Jessica, wow, Nicky, you're going to make all of us cry. We are more than happy to help your family, and we are here for this Lady Vol family. Margot said you have given to us, so we are very happy to give to you. I'm reading all these so you know. I want you to know in your heart how beloved you are and how much you deserve this.
I don't feel like I do, but thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I can't thank you enough, Maria, for your leadership in all of this. Could not have done this without you. Like I said, you saved my family from financial ruin. We've been able to pay down a lot of our medical bills. We've been able to pay down a lot of what accumulated as a result of us being in the hospital for so long. And the boys are doing so well. They're doing so well. And I don't regret a single decision that I made. I really don't. And I'm grateful that I was able to make the decisions that I made and have the support of so many people.
All I did, I was the messenger for your story. You had to share it with me. So thank you. I appreciate that. I'm going to end with this. Just if you could describe Lady Vol Nation in one word, you got to pick one word. What is it?
Unbelievable.
Involved, believable. We'll do the V in there. I think I said that wrong. Nicky, thank you so much. And thank you everyone for coming. Please share on your social media. Let other people know about this. We appreciate you being here. We'll have you back on sometime, especially as the boys get a little bigger. Thank you for coming to the Buck and 2MC show. Buck, hope you feel better, and we will see everybody in a week.